Yeah, it did. And so how did you end up getting into the agency?
Well, when I finished undergrad, I just kind of felt in my heart like I wasn't adult enough to start my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like I needed to go to grad school because I just wasn't ready to go out there. And so I stayed at GW and I was working on a master's degree in legislative affairs with a focus on foreign policy analysis. And so I was taking this class called The Psychology of Leadership with an eminent psychiatrist by the name of Dr. Gerald Post. Post was very unusual in that he called himself a political psychiatrist. He had a PhD in political science, a PhD in psychology, and an MD. And so he was teaching this class. And the reason why this class was so interesting, the psychology of leadership, is that it tried to look at how governments manipulate other world leaders into doing what they want them to do. For example, of course, you've heard of the Yalta Conference near the end of World War II. So Dr. Post asked us, and I remember this all these years later. I mean, this was 38 years ago, 36 years ago, whatever it is. Dr. Post asked us, why was that conference held in Yalta, of all places? Nobody had any idea. And he said, the answer was actually quite simple. Because Stalin knew that Roosevelt was sick, right? His spies in the United States had said, something's wrong with Roosevelt. He's ill. He looks like he's dying. So rather than have the conference in Cuba or Iran, which is where it was supposed to be originally, it was supposed to be in Tehran, it was in Yalta because Stalin insisted that it be held there. And Roosevelt had to fly all the way around the war. So he had to go from Washington to Morocco to sub-Saharan Africa, to Tehran, and then north to Yalta. It took days. By the time he got to Russia, he was exhausted and sick. And all he wanted to do was go to sleep. But Stalin insisted that they begin the talks immediately. So just to be able to get to bed, Roosevelt gave up Poland. And so for the next 45 years, Poland was communist.